Hi, I'm Christina, and this is a book review of Instructions for a Heatwave by Maggie O'Farrell. So, this is a historical fiction novel and it was published in 2013. This is my second book by this author. I have read The Marriage Portrait and enjoyed it. So, the year is 1976 and the book is set across London, Gloucestershire, New York, and rural Ireland. Our main character is called Greta and her husband is called Robert, and they have 3 adult children together, Monica, Michael Francis and Aoife. Now, it's just a normal, ordinary day, and Greta is baking bread as she always does, and Robert goes out to buy a newspaper as he always does, and then he disappears completely. They call the police and they don't really know what to do, and then Greta calls her children, and all the children come back home to discuss what they're going to do now that their dad has gone missing. So the story is told through 4 different perspectives. We hear first from the mother, and then we hear from each of her 3 children in turn. So Michael Francis is a teacher and he has a wife called Claire, and they have 2 children. One is 8 and one is 4, and his wife is doing an open university degree. She's doing a history degree. She couldn't do a degree when she was younger because she fell pregnant with her first child, and they decided to get married, and now she decided that she wants to do something for herself and she wants to go back and study for the degree that she couldn't do. And then we also have Monica, and Monica has a husband, but they don't have any children together. He has 2 children from a previous marriage, and they come and stay with them at the weekends. So Monica is now a stepmother to 2 young girls, and they also have a cat that is belonging to the children that lives with them. And then the youngest is Aoife, and she lives in New York. All the others are still living in London. And she's living in New York, and she is an assistant to a very famous photographer, and she is dating a man as well. So that's kind of the setup of where everybody is in life. And then all of a sudden this disappearance happens of their father, and they all come back to their kind of home to kind of regroup and see what they're going to do. So they spoke to the police, and the police aren't going to investigate this because it doesn't look like he is a missing person as such. He has taken his passport and he has taken a lot of money from their bank accounts, so it doesn't look like he's necessarily missing. It looks more like he's decided to up and leave his family, so the police aren't going to investigate this. So instead, the family have decided they're going to have to investigate this themselves, and they start looking back into their past and their history and kind of looking at kind of the skeletons in their closet of their family's life. Now, I would say overall that this was a relatively enjoyable story. I've given this one 3 stars, but it's probably a low 3-star read for me. I think it just kind of wasn't anything special, to be honest. I had a decent enough time reading it. I quite liked the characters, but I didn't feel particularly connected to any of the characters, and I didn't find the disappearance all that interesting at times, but it did just feel like a nice story about a family, and we are learning a lot about all their different family dynamics, and there's a lot of exploration of kind of like sibling relationships and just kind of general family issues and family secrets and all the ways that happen in a family like that. But I will say I don't think it's going to be particularly memorable for me over time. It was just a kind of okay read. There was a couple of times when I was thinking, shall I put this down? I'm not sure I'm that into it, but there wasn't anything wrong with it at all. It was just absolutely fine. So I continued reading it. And yeah, it was an okay story overall, but like I say, I don't think it's going to be particularly memorable for me. I didn't feel particularly connected to any of these characters. I wasn't particularly invested in any of the storylines or in any of the people or their relationships. It was just an okay, fine kind of read for me. Overall, this is a family drama. It's a very warm novel. It's a very quiet novel. We're just following this normal, unassuming family. We're exploring all the family dynamics. Every single person in this family is keeping secrets. some of them quite big secrets, some of them quite small, some of them that affect lots of different things, and all of these secrets are kind of unraveling over the course of this story and unfolding in different ways, and people are learning different things about one another that they didn't know, and kind of just seeing how all these secrets collide inside this family in this one very hot summer and this heat wave of 1976. And every single person in this family has their own problems too. We have Greta, who doesn't really understand why her husband has just left her without a word, without saying anything to her. We have Michael Francis, who is struggling in his marriage, and that's because of something that he has done, and he's struggling to come to terms with what he has done and the repercussions of what has now happened between him and his wife, and worrying about what might happen in their future and how that will affect his relationship with his children. And then we're also seeing Monica struggling, trying to develop this relationship with her stepdaughters and really struggling to do so. And then how that in turn is affecting her relationship with her husband and their father. And just feeling like they don't really like her, and she's just really struggling to make a good impression, and it's just really affecting her negatively. And then we're following Aoife, and she has this big secret that she's keeping from everyone. She's keeping it from her family, she's keeping it from her employer, and she's keeping it from her partner, and it's really having kind of wide-reaching effects. It's something that she's been keeping secret for a long time, and it affects her ability to do her job and to live her life, and it's going to come out in difficult ways, and she could lose her job, etc. So yeah, it's just a very quiet novel about this one family and all these different things that have happened in the past as well, and kind of just seeing this small Irish family kind of discover what's happened in their past and how that's affecting their present, and all these secrets that people have been holding and how that's now in play with what's happening today, and how, you know, husband and wife have been keeping secrets from their children, and husband has been keeping secrets from his wife, and all of these big massive secrets that he's been telling for a very long time, and how everything's trying to come to light now. So yeah, I think it was an okay read. It was good, it was fine. I don't really have much more to say about it. It was just a very quiet family drama. If you have read it, I'd love to know what you thought of it down in the comments below. And if you've read any of her other books, I would love to know what you thought of those too. I think out of the two that I've read by her, I did enjoy The Marriage Portrait a lot more. I really quite enjoyed that one. I think I still only gave it a 3 stars, but a much kind of higher 3 stars. So yeah, that is that one. So thank you so much for watching. Please do like the video if you've liked it, and please do subscribe if you'd like to hear more of me talking about books. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.